Hi.
Hi, Awar. Wow, my
Hi.
voice just then just went so higher.
It's because
Hi.
you're excited to see me.
I'm so excited and also very grateful for you taking the time to
Oh,
come
thanks for having me, girl.
onto my little
I'm a
pod.
little shy.
Oh, don't be shy. Wait, you're feeling shy?
I'm shy. I'm nervous.
Oh, okay.
You
I
know?
feel like it always happens though. Like
Yeah.
whenever there's just like a camera and whenever
Mm-hmm.
there's like a speaking component, then I
Mm.
feel like just innately. I always even get nervous when I'm like setting up and being like, I hope I ask the right questions. Like, I hope it's a great conversation. But I know
Yeah.
it's going to be a great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Thanks for having
Do
me.
you want to introduce yourself to our
Hi.
guests?
My name is Awar Malik.
Malek.
Yes, ma'am.
Love. What do you do?
Oh,
Who are you?
I'm a model.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I?
Yeah, sorry, this is
I'm a lot of
loaded
things.
question.
I said, wow. I don't even know
Who
what.
are
That's a great
you?
question. Oh, that's a full question. I'm a lot.
How would you describe yourself?
Um, it depends, right? I
Yeah.
feel like if I was to describe myself in like, let's say 5 words or three.
Mm.
Let's see if I can do three, and then
Okay.
if I add more, I add more.
Yeah.
But I think I am. I'm funny. I'm
Yeah.
real funny. I'm funny. Very passionate.
Mm-hmm.
Very forward thinking.
Mm.
Kind of like I live more so in the future than I do in the present, but I do try
Mm.
to remind myself to stay grounded sometimes.
Yeah.
I am very independent to a fault.
Yeah.
I don't want to be independent anymore. I don't want to be independent anymore.
Someone save me.
Come save me. But at the same time, I don't even think I don't know if they're gonna have to force me.
Yeah.
Like it would have to be like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have to dominate my dominance.
Yeah. Which
But
is already.
I'll fight back a little bit just for fun. Yeah.
Oh
Like,
my god. I feel like I've been thinking about that recently.
Mhm.
Like, I'm also someone that's like quite independent.
Mhm.
But I feel like a lot of guys that I've interacted with in a relationship setting
Yeah.
haven't fully been in their masculine, and so
Yeah.
therefore, like even when like they're acting up or acting weird, that
It forces you
it
to
forces,
flip.
yeah, forces you to
100%.
be in your masculine. Whereas I feel like the divine feminine is obviously give and take. Like there's not one definition, but like
100%.
when a woman is just so
When she's taken care of and
relaxed,
like she doesn't have to use her brain so much.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like
Yeah.
stress, or so that it then gives you more
Room.
permission,
Yeah.
to be able to like put your walls down. But I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of the times in our current world
Yeah.
that, you need to be watching your back.
No, you're right. Like I feel like okay, naturally I think I am one of those people that ideally
Mm.
I would like in terms of romantic partner, somebody that can be able to be like, oh babe, like let me, I'll sit back. But then like I'm the type that was like, okay, cool, show me. But it's like it's almost like I'm waiting for you to fuck up, so then I'm like, I bet, like, bye, this is why you're not leading. And then
my God.
so it's like there's also that weird dynamic where
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with trusting somebody to take charge or like be in the forefront of leading and whatnot, but it's like I'm so quick to be like, give it back.
Yeah.
Because before you even mess up.
Where do you
like,
think that comes from, if you were to like deepen it?
Family.
Yeah.
Family. I think I was raised, first generation African household.
Were you born here?
Firstborn daughter. No, I was born in Sudan.
Okay, yeah.
Being the firstborn daughter in an African household,
You're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
I'm also the oldest as well.
Exactly.
Oh my God, wait, we can talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I think that also really shaped the way I was raised. So I felt like even my father said it, like, said it best. He's like, I was raised almost to move in the world as a man first, because my father literally said, like, not only are you a woman, you're a black woman. You don't have room to feel sorry for yourself. You don't have space to wait for somebody to come save you. You need to save yourself, because no, like in this world, you're not in the you're not in the forefront as a victim. You're never going to be the first person that they think of to come save when shit happens. So I was raised in a way where it's like I have to, I'm gonna put myself like first. Like who's gonna come save you? Like, you had no choice but to be extremely firm, which can come off as masculine energy now that I like, now that I'm transitioning into like, a grown woman. Transition, to womanhood and like, dating and all that stuff. It's almost like a battle now, because everything almost feels like, oh, you're testing me. Like, you're testing me about myself and like how much I really like myself and how much I play about myself, because I feel like a lot of these men will like, they'll do certain things like one by one to see if you're gonna say something, you're gonna let it slide, and it's like I'm on it, like right at the beginning. I don't care how small it is, because I feel like if you can do something this small, I can only imagine what's waiting for me at the end of the of the road. But that's because I was raised to always be like, don't be in la la land and think that everybody has your best interest. As much as you might look at the world and think like, I have your best interest, don't expect yourself from others. And you never really know where people stand. They can love you, but they can also still be disloyal to you. They can love you and still fuck you over, because people are going to choose themselves at the end of the day. So then choose yourself. Make sure you choose yourself. So I think that's where that like overly dominant energy comes from. But
That's
I
so
hate that word, because I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just a girl.
What do you mean? I'm just a
girl.
That's so interesting. So like, at what age did you start having those sort of conversations with your dad, and also what's like your relationship like with your dad? Because I didn't grow up with like my biological dad, but then I grew up with my aunt, and her husband, my uncle, is like my like father figure. But when like I feel like my relationship when it comes to like men and like that father figure sort of thing,
it's a little tricky.
I'm like, I'm very intrigued. Like,
I am my father's daughter. Like, I'm very like, I think I have a little bit of an issue with the authority figures, but I'm not sure if that's just something that's with like that I was born with, etc., or the way I was raised. Because from like, from what I can remember from, little Awar, I've always been very like, I'm doing what I want to do and how I want to do it, and I don't care what the consequences are. And then when the consequences come, I'm gonna be like, I have no regrets. Like, I did that. I did. Like, I'm the kid that's like, they're always like, oh, why did you do that? I'm like, I wanted to at the time. Like, I've always been that type. So having those conversations with my father, it was almost unspoken for a very long time, because it was just like the way, like, he would expect me to do certain things and carry myself and walk into a room a certain way and talk a certain way, be like, make sure people see you, hear you, feel you, but not in a victim or like feel sorry for me, kind of like, oh, you walk in that room as yourself. I've always been like, I was always raised to be like, walk in that room as yourself, walk in that room with the confidence of like, I'm supposed to be here as much as the next person. And you never wait for somebody to say, oh, here, like, have a seat, you can sit down now. It's kind of like, no, I'm sitting here, you sit next to me then. Like, let's have a conversation, because we're here, we're both here. And I have just as much of an importance in this lifetime as you do. And we may look or sound different, but it was never me and you. It was never me against you. It was, you have your own thing going on. Beautiful. We cross path. That's amazing. I have my own path and my own journey that I'm on. So I think I've always had like that sense of purpose from jump within my family. But yeah, my father played a huge role in a sense of like he never gave me any room to question who I was and my identity and my purpose. He's always been like, no, you belong here. This is the type of family you were born into. In this family, you don't just walk around and question and ask people to accept you. You walk as yourself, and whoever accepts you on that journey is your people. Who doesn't, like, who cares?
Wow, that's really cool. I feel like just kind of in some ways, like, I see a lot of like my own experiences in yours in terms of like moving here at a young age. Like, how old were you when you moved here? 5. Yeah, I was like 6 when I moved here, and I feel like kind of like in the like early days, but I feel like sometimes when you move here as like a migrant, someone who's like not from here in such like a white world, a Caucasian world, but a lot of the times, which is something that I've had to like grow out of, that I used to feel like, especially when I was in primary school, like automatically I would just be like, oh, that person, just because they are who they are, or they've grown up in this environment that they know like better than me. And I feel like it's only been through like my teen years and kind of like now like 20s that I feel more like solid about myself. And also I feel like being able to see myself reflected in the media has also really helped. And I also feel like the conversation is like changing, because even like one of my best friends, her and I were like, she's Liberian as well, and like she doesn't sound Liberian, but she has like an accent, everyone has an accent,
of course.
And she was just saying how like now she feels more proud of that compared to like when we were younger, but we were like, oh my god, like I don't, I don't, it's as though like I don't want people to catch me out that I'm different, even though it's
100%.
like, it's like, wait, that's still recording. It's like, it literally just, like, of course you're different,
100%. I think it's a beautiful movement, and it's great to watch. I think the interesting thing is like, because I came from a family that had such audacity in who they are, like they had so much confidence. Like I'm raised in a family like where God complex is like so it's like I've always known I was different, but I was raised to be like, because you're different, that is the best thing about you. Like don't walk into that school trying to fit into the and I couldn't even fit in anyway. Like I grew, like even if I wanted to, even if I tried, I never had that choice, because I was raised in like an area that was predominantly white, and I didn't even see another person of color until like year 6. So it was like me and my little brother, only 2 black kids, or kids of color, like in general. Like there was no Asians, no like nothing. It was just white kids and me and my little brother. So we had no choice but to be like, well, I'm not gonna fit in anyway, so I might as well just be myself. And then it was like I was coming from a household that was like, why do you even want to fit in? Like it's like, who cares? But it doesn't it didn't really click, because in my head I was like, why do you care that I'm different? Why is it bothering you so much that I'm different? I don't care what you do. I don't care what you wear. I don't care what happens with you, your life and your choices. So it's like, why am I in your head so much? Like it's because I'm special. Like,
I love that.
Like so I've always had that mentality, but I think it didn't really hit me how differently I was raised from the other kids until I got to high school, and there was other black kids and kids of color, and it was more culturally diverse, right? That's when I started to see the more self-inflicted, like self-hate and all of that stuff from others. And it was almost like,
which is such also like a generational thing. Like I feel like we also take on like generational traumas that we're not 100%. Even, like,
but it's
aware of.
It's so interesting, because I had to learn to be a bit more sensitive to that and a bit more understanding, because I just didn't understand. I was like, what do you mean? Like I was like, you know, because it's like you get a choice. Like I've always had that, you know, mentality where it's like you don't get to choose the type of traumas that, you know, people inflict onto you or pass on to you, right? But you definitely get a choice on how you handle those traumas, right? So now you can either sit there and be like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Or you can go, I don't like that. Let me, you know, change my perspective and try to see and work through those traumas. But I just never understood when people didn't think, or like the kids, like, because there were kids, we were all kids. I didn't understand why like other kids would be sitting or submerging into their traumas instead of just pushing through it. But it's like, was I really pushing through it, or was I just avoiding it? Like I was just like, it's here. Let me just. I didn't really work on it. I didn't really sit in it. I didn't really feel it. I just kind of just was like, yeah, that's what it is. I've accepted it. Let's keep it cute. Let's keep it moving. Because what, I had no choice but to like keep it moving. Nobody's gonna stop and pull me out of that dark place if I get stuck. And that was, I think, my biggest fear at the beginning when I was going through it, like in high school, because I was like, if I get through, like if I get stuck in this dark space and I go down this tunnel, who the hell's gonna throw me a rope and like drag me back up? You know, like who's gonna do that? We don't know. Like there could have been. There's definitely always support, but it's like I like, you know, that fear of being a burden, one, and then also the audacity to think that somebody's gonna stop their journey to come back and get me.
Oh my God.
You know, and I was like, I never want to do that because I don't even know the half of their story. So I could, like, you know, and it's like the kindest people, the most generous souls are usually the ones that have gone through so much bullshit in this lifetime. So I never want any of them to stop evolving and moving because they have to stop and pick up dead weight. Like, fuck no, like.
But then also in saying that, I feel like I 100% agree in terms of like dealing with like your own shit and like, you know, like facing yourself before you wait for someone else to come and get you. However, I think that it's not necessarily like dead weight, you know. Like
no, that's how I felt. Like that's when in that moment, like obviously we've done some growing now. We've crashed out a few times. We've gone through the journey of actually feeling and then accepting and then being able to actually accept help as well, and sitting there and going, wait, I don't need to do this on my own, and I shouldn't do this on my own, and I don't have to. I've never had to do it on my own. I think it was just, what was I trying to prove to myself by trying to do it on my own? Like I'm like damn near killing myself trying to prove what? Like it was a battle of me versus me the whole time. It's always been me and me, because everybody around me has always been supportive, have always been there. Like I've never really been in a space where I'm like, oh, I'm all that I got, really. But I was telling myself that. So it's like I had to go through that phase where I'm like, why do you keep telling yourself that? Like, why? It was almost like I romanticized my isolation. I romanticized the pain and the trauma because it kept me pushing. Like it kept me like motivated to make something of myself. So it was almost like I made the trauma a part of me and my journey,
your identity.
And but it was to the point where if I needed to inflict like a little bit of like reminder as to why I'm doing what I'm doing, I can, because it's just stored right here. It's not going anywhere. And I realized that was messed up. Like I was like, damn, I gotta change.
You're like, something needs to change. I always just find it like, because I'm like, I feel like when I'm going through something, I find it really hard not to feel it. So I'm always like so like fascinated by like, because so many of my friends are also very good at just like, you know, like putting things in a box and being like, I'm just gonna put this here and I'm gonna deal with that later. Whereas a lot of the times I feel like I don't have a choice when it comes to like feeling it. Like I don't know how to like switch that part of myself off. But my question is, what's your relationship when it comes to vulnerability, and what does that even like, how does that like sit in your life?
I feel like it's so interesting because it depends on context, right?
Yeah.
So there's moments where, like I'm really good at detaching
Yeah.
and like reattaching if I feel like, if need be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when it comes to vulnerability, I feel like I've been vulnerable, but in a way that like maybe others will look at it and they will still think that I'm still so detached from it. But my way of vulnerability would kind of, depending on context, would be, here's the situation. I would intentionally submerge, like completely feel it, sit in it, do what I need to do, but I always give myself a timer where it's like, okay, now you felt it, let's make a decision.
Yeah.
So it's always like I'm always solution based, but I do allow myself to feel the emotions. I do allow myself to sit in it, but just not too long. Like I don't like getting lost in it.
Yeah.
I just like, I'm curious about the emotions. It's almost like I want to sit there, study it, want to know why I'm feeling it,
Yeah.
what triggered it,
Yeah.
why, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why is it so, why does it feel so grand or not as grand? Like, you know, why does it feel like, is the reaction justified?
Yeah.
Or is it not? Like, it's like, I kind of have to, it's like default. Like as soon as like something hits me, it's like I go into this research mode of like, what is it? And da 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 da. And I'm trying to understand it. I'm collecting all these data, right? But it looks so bland from the outside.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I just need a, like, it's like, you're not going to get a reaction out of me. Just give me a moment, right?
Yeah.
Like, because my biggest fear is being emotionally reactive, because I know that I'm very, 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 very slick with my words.
Yeah.
I know that how powerful and how low I can really go.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I'm like, oh, give me a moment. Let me, because I don't like to say things that I want to take back.
Totally.
So
me too.
If I say something, it doesn't matter how mean you're thinking it is. That's how I'm feeling at that moment.
Yeah.
And if I then circle back and feel like I need to apologize, I will apologize, but I would never say I regret it. I would never say I take it back.
Yeah.
Because that's the truth.
Yeah.
And I'm so heavy on like telling you the truth. like I'm sorry that, that transpired, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But I would never say I'm sorry I said that to you.
Do you feel like there was like a point in your childhood that you because like we've known each other I think like since 2022 or something.
Yeah.
2021 or something. I don't know. We've known each other
for a while.
Yeah. Some time. And whenever I'm around you, like it's just this energy to you. Like I feel like wherever you are in the room, that I can feel
it's very loud
energy. Like it's like it's very like I'm here, but it's in just like your own.
Like I'm in my own world.
Yeah, 100%. But I know that you talk about like your family and like your dad and growing up with like a strong
even mom, like the women in my family, spectacular. They're all very like powerful, loud, fierce, like like you don't play with them. Like they are the masterminds in my family, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like a lot of men in my family, they're like the quiet dominance. Like they just in the background, they have no problem being there because it's like their presence just says enough, right?
Yeah.
And the women in my family, they're very like, they don't mind being the forefront. They don't mind, they fighters, like, in a sense of, I'll fight for my love, like, who I care about, what I want. I'm gonna demand my respect. But like I don't know, like
like was there a point that you feel like, because it's always that thing of like, what is it, like nature versus nurture, of like how much of it was it just like your soul and just like you, like the essence of you compared to like the things that you
my experiences in life and
like
what I was taught.
Or was there like a point that you just feel like like there was something, or it's just always kind of just being there?
I feel like I've always had that energy or that oomph to me. Not in like no cocky shit.
No, not at all.
Not in like, you know, no weird way or anything. But I feel like I've always been one of those people that's like, as much as I want to be in the background, like I've always been like, I think for a while I intentionally would just try to just move out of the way.
Yeah.
Just be in the background, just be quiet and just watch, see how life is going from, you know, the corner. But it's like my energy exudes in such a way that even if I am in that little corner over there, I won't be there by myself for long.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like I do have that, I don't know, it might be just something I was born with, I don't know, or experiences definitely played a role as well in terms of like, you know, how I see people around me carry themselves and how I was, you know, raised and brought up as well. But I think a lot of it is like, you just have it, like I don't know how to really explain it. Like I couldn't say, oh, I just woke up Thursday night, 2008 or something, and I'm just like, oh, I'm me. You know, I've always felt like I was me. It just took me a minute to be like, I'm okay with my energy being so loud in the room.
Yeah.
So for a long time, I didn't like that, because I felt like if my energy is so loud that if I'm happy, the whole room will feel it.
Yeah.
But the minute like I'm a little off, the whole room will feel it, and I hated that, because it's like you don't get the space to be invisible per se. But so I think that's just what that's the only con to it, where it's like I can't really I can, but I can't. Like it's like you're gonna feel it, like and I think that's why I'm like so what's the word, like I'm so, I don't want to say passionate.
Passionate is fine.
I'm passionate, but I feel like it just comes off a bit more I guess it will be aggressive. I hate that word, but it's okay. That's fine. You can call me aggressive if you want. No, I'm joking.
Well, it's even that thing of like, I feel like, especially in recent times, that Black women are like taking back what it means to like to have like passion and be someone who is like assertive compared to like being shown in the media as like aggressive or like angry Black woman, which a lot
I don't mind being the angry Black woman. That's the other thing. Like I don't care for it, because I was never angry. You piss me off. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like and let you get away with disrespecting me or pissing me off. If you didn't piss me off, you didn't hurt my feelings, we'll be smiling right now and everything will be, you know, la-di-da-di-da. But you wanted to play in my face. And I don't care to save your feelings. So, like that's the other thing. It's like, don't piss me off. You know, I'm not gonna piss you off. So
I was on TikTok the other day and I have been getting a lot of like Big Brother UK on my like For You page.
Yeah.
And there was this girl on there, I can't remember like what her heritage is, but she was like a person of colour. And she was like explaining a story or something about her culture. Something to do with like marriage, like not that the conversation really like is important, but she was just like explaining something and she was like getting really into it and like using like hands, gestures and whatnot. And then the guy who she was in conversation with was like, oh, you're like right there, like you're a bit like coming across like a bit like aggressive and stuff. And then she was like, well, no, I'm not aggressive, I'm just telling you like my point, I'm just like really passionate about like this subject matter. And then later on, she was in like the laundry room. I also love how there's been like a resurgence of reality TV because of like TikTok and like watching snippets.
Of course.
But anyway, she's in the laundry room and she was like crying. And then the guy walked in and he didn't realize that she was having a moment. And he was like, oh wait, are you alright? And she was like, yeah. Like it's just that you use that word and it just like made me feel like really annoyed because that's not who I am. And I feel like even in my, not that I feel like innately like me, like I'm probably a lot more quiet.
Yeah,
So
you are.
Like, I'm not really like you really have to push me.
Yeah, for you to have a reaction.
For me to like be like,
what the fuck is going on?
But like, but also I have that side of me of like, if you
100%.
go there, like, let's
100%.
Go, you know.
See, I'm the opposite. It's like it's right here. It's like it's right here. Like I'm try it right here. That's my first thing, because the one thing I never understood is like, why am I keeping the peace? Who am I keeping the peace for? Like I want to keep the peace for everybody else but myself. Fuck no. We're both gonna be uncomfortable right now. You want to make me feel the type of way? Let's go. Like now you're sad too. Boo-hoo. Like let's both cry. Like I'd rather both of us be awkward and uncomfortable in that moment than just me. Yeah. Because why am I keeping the peace for you when you're the one who went out of your way to make me feel the type of way? Yeah. And I think like that's that's the thing, like everybody expects, like especially Black women, they expect us to always be the bigger person. Yes. Fuck being the bigger person. Literally. Like I feel like there's even moments where I'm like, it's not even that deep to me. I don't care. But because I'm thinking about the bigger picture, I'm going to give you a reaction. And I'm going to say something because I know that you're too pussy to stand on what you're trying to say right now. So if I say something that's going to push back on whatever the fuck you're saying, that's either arrogant or just misogynistic or just dumb as fuck, I know you're going to fall and you're going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. And it's like, no, don't say anything you don't mean. Like stand 10 toes on whatever it is that you're saying. And if you sound stupid, you sound stupid. If you sound amazing, you sound amazing. Yeah. But I hate people that have audacity without the backing of having the balls to stand on what it is that they want to, they want to say. Because they expect the world to just be like, just let it go. It's not that deep. No, it is that deep. Now what? Like I've said, it's that deep. You put it out there. I'm taking it personal. Now what? Now we're both sitting here looking stupid. I have no problem being the villain. Matter of fact, I love it. I thrive in it. Like because when I love, right? Yeah. But it's like I'm not gonna love stupidity. I'm not gonna love ignorance. I'm not gonna indulge in arrogance and like people falling short. No, we don't do that. Yeah. You want to have fun. We want to live a beautiful life. We want to da-da-da-da. You want me to be considerate of you. You be considerate of me. Yeah. And people around you. Oh my God. Yeah. I can't stand ignorant. I can't stand bullies. I can't stand anyone that thinks that they can get a pass that other people can't. Yeah. Yeah. So no, evil twin, baby. Where are we taking it? Let's go. Show me the way, and I'll take it lower. That's me though. I love. How did kind of like having that like strong foundation base affect the way that you like moved within modeling? I also don't even know like how you got into modeling. Like, what's your story? Oh, okay. How did I? Okay. I feel like we just like known each other. We know. We just happened, yeah. Like, yes, I feel like for a long time I didn't want to do modeling, right? Yeah. I wanted to get into more like anything that was just a bit more like behind, out of the way. Like I'm a very curious soul. Like I love reading, writing, painting, all of that stuff. So I wanted to do like anything to do that was a bit more on the creative side, but not in the forefront. Like, whether it's like fashion design or psychology, just something that's just, but I knew it was always going to be different. Like, it wasn't going to be a conventional job. Like, I was never going to be the office girly. I always felt that way as well. And when I was really little, especially in high school, I would sit there and I'd be like, just so like not bored, but I just was like, I would always say to myself, isn't it so weird that we're like obviously so grateful for an education? Of course, yeah. I'd be like, isn't it so weird that we're like sitting in this room and there's like a million things happening like outside right now, like people are just like doing stuff. Like I always think about that. I think I think school's amazing. I think you never stop learning, but I also think that it's important to just live. Oh yeah, and like learn through living. Like so I've always known that I was never gonna be satisfied with a 9 to 5 or like just I knew that I would need a job that always kept evolving and always kept me moving. I needed something that just kept my brain going all the time. I knew that that's what I needed because I know that I can't do
Yeah.
the same thing. I can't like.
Yeah.
As soon as it starts to get too repetitive,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you've lost me. Like I'm
Yeah.
gone. Like
Yeah.
it's like I'm out here daydreaming now and shit. Like I'm aloof. I'm losing. Like I'm not here anymore.
Yeah.
So I've always known that I needed something that will always be unpredictable, challenging, forces you to grow in different ways. I need it, and I love that. Like, I never wanted to do modeling. And I think the reason why I never wanted to do modeling had nothing to do with, oh, I never thought I was pretty. No. No. It wasn't that. It was more so like, it was more like on the side of, I think I fell victim to the mindset that everybody was like, if I do modeling, then I'm a model.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a model. I just do modeling.
Yeah.
I have so much more that I want to do and see and be, right? And I think it was like, there's also this weird stigma in the Western world where it's like, if somebody's beautiful, they also think that, oh, because they're beautiful, they don't have brains.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is that a thing? Or if somebody puts in effort in how they dress or how they look, or like, which is what like a lot of Africans do. Like we're very expressive with how we dress. Yeah. We like to look good. All the time. It doesn't matter where you're going.
It literally doesn't matter if it's like a baby, an old man, if anything.
We're always about putting our best foot forward.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
like
one
a
thing,
sign of like respect.
100%.
You're meeting up with your friend. You're not just gonna wear like anything unless they're coming to your place. It's like
even if they're coming over, like you're gonna clean up. You're gonna put your stuff. You're gonna you're gonna freshen up.
Things around. Like,
so
no.
I never understood that stigma of like, oh, because you're pretty, you have no brains. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like your beauty. And it doesn't even correlate. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, I like fashion, yes, but that doesn't mean I'm stupid. Like, that doesn't mean I'm not an academic. Yeah. But I think there was also that, that weird thing where I'm just like, that's so weird. Like, why is it that everybody thinks like, oh, because you're doing something that's to do with beauty. Yeah. That all is like being pretty. That's all that's in your head. Like,
I feel like it's also a way to like limit women.
100%.
Like men are kind of scared of a woman having all of those components of being.
It's a dangerous combo. Being beautiful, smart, funny. Like, come on now.
So there needs to be like something that. Yeah. It's like so you're not this, That you can't have it all.
Yeah, 100%. And I think as well, it was just. There wasn't a lot of futuristic perspective on the fashion world within Australia. It just kind of looked like it was all going the same direction. Yeah. And it was following what everybody else in the world was doing for a while, right? Well, I guess it still is, right?
Which is always
like Australia. It's so sad because I'm like, wow, like we have so much potential to like have a voice and stand out and be different and kind of just we have a lot of things that we can do that the rest of the world could utilize and they can learn from if we just not outsource everything. Just we're here. Like you have the models here, you have the creatives here, you have the stylists, everyone's here, but everyone's outsourcing and waiting to see what the
rest of the world is
and
doing,
then we're going from there. And it's like, okay, cool, right? When are we gonna be trendsetters? When are we gonna be the first person to take that leap and be
I always think about that. I also in some ways I'm like, as Australians, I feel like we have this like banned term of like, oh, we're like really chilled and we're really laid back. But as like a country, I don't really know if we have like a
I don't think Australia is. I feel like Australia is so funny because we're not as open-minded.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We're not as
like we don't have like a really like strong identity.
We're literally like prudes.
Yeah.
Like
we're always kind of like sitting on the fence, which in turn also is like
neutral.
reflected
We're neutral.
within, you know, like fashion and like arts, because, you know, like
nobody's
society,
ballsy enough to say or really.
And it's not even like it needs to be like crazy like
no, just
stuff,
be yourself.
but it's more, I feel like when like a designer, like at the moment, like I really love like Schiaparelli, what's his name, I forget the creative director, but I feel like when I see that brand, it feels like they have something to say, that they are not wanting to just do things for the trends, that they actually want to create work that, you know,
it's kind of like, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, look at it, not what do you think I should do.
And that's how
that's what's happening. It's like, where do you think I should go with this? And it's like, just do it and see what happens. Like, who cares? If they like it, they like it. If they hate it, they hate it. But do you love it? Like, that's the thing. But I got into modeling when, I know, we
switched around. We
went everywhere. But the question is,
how did you get into modeling?
I was going to I've been model and IMG a call thing,
like a call out like
thing
open
with my cousin.
Oh my god, okay.
I had no interest in signing up
in Sydney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rin models, right?
Yeah, which I just signed with.
Period.
Oh my god.
They're the best. So I went with them, right? And I was just going to help, like assist, all of that stuff, right? I was just chilling, and then because, like I said, I was in my own little, like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. Modeling is cool. Like, I think it's beautiful. I've always thought it was amazing. But I've always looked at modeling from the most, you know, the prettiest jobs are usually the ugliest in the background.
Yeah.
You don't know the type of...
people struggle.
It took to...
get there.
Yeah. So I've always had that like reality mentality where it's like, it's pretty, but I know that it's gonna take a lot of before it got, you know, and so I went to that call out thing. And I just watched, like, you know, our cousins, all of that, everybody. There was so many people that came. It was a really fun day. I was just chilling. And then, like, my cousin walks up to me, and he, Judge walks up to me, and was like, Awar, can you do me a favor? And I was like, what? And he's like, do you mind just doing a walk for us? You know? And I was like, you know, I don't want to, you know.
Wait, did he know you prior to the day?
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Oh, wait, that's your cousin?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
Model, Sudanese own.
Oh,
Black
my
owned.
God.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
That's your cousin?
We grew up together.
No way, I didn't know that. Okay.
So I was there. It was him, his brother, my brother, our cousins, and his little sister. That's my age. So we were just chilling, and then they were all like, "No, just do one walk, one walk. If you know you don't like it, you don't like it, like, you know." And I was like, "Fine, I'll do the walk." But no, me, I was like, I'm gonna do the walk, but I'm gonna do it so shitty, like, you know. And it's like, I'm gonna do it so like whatever. So then I'll just walk, and they would dismiss me anyway. So like, let me just get over and done with, because everybody was like crowding me, and I was like, oh, okay. So I did the walk, terrible, like purposely, it was terrible. And they knew, like, it I was like, bro, like, stop playing with us. He's like, I've seen you walk. What are you talking about?
He's like, wait,
what are you doing? So I was just like, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of like, let me get this over and done with, right? And then I ended up like, they ended up like, okay, come here. And they ended up taking photos of me and stuff. And I was just like, why are they taking photos of me?
Oh my God.
And then he was like, okay, look, we'll do this. Just try it for 6 months. If you hate it, I won't ever ask you again. Just try it for 6 months. And then I did, and like I loved, you know, like the thrill of just like meeting new people, and like we were talking before, when we're on a shoot, it's not you leave yourself at the door, you get on set, and whatever vision you need to help, you know, bring to light, you do it in that moment, and then you go home. And I like that. I was like, something different. It was new, it was challenging, it was a little tricky, it was unpredictable, it was very up, down, side, you know. Every day, you know, one week you're doing this many, the next week probably none. Like, it was like one of those things, and I'm just like, oh, you know? But it got like a little addictive where I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, okay. I can do more. All right, let's do more. Da, da, da. And then now we're here. Like, I ended up, I think it was like during COVID, I had a conversation with Alexis and Thomas, and they were like, I think you'll be great. Let's sign as well. And then, been doing that ever since. Like, just chilling. It's just a vibe. To me, it's just an experience. Like, I'm just having a great experience, and I'm super grateful that I get a chance to be able to do that, right? So that's why it's like, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't have a sob story. Maybe I do. I'm just not telling it.
No.
But I don't have like a oh, I was walking down the street and somebody stopped me. No, I don't have that type of story. It was just like, oh, there was an opportunity there. I got given the chance to either take it or leave it. I took it in that moment, and this is where I ended up being. And it's been fun. It's been challenging. It's been like extreme highs, extreme lows, very gray areas. There's a lot of gray areas where you're like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm confused.
And schedules.
Exactly.
Not knowing what you're doing.
100%. And then also not knowing like what's like, you know, like what is
what's
the next
end goal?
Like what do we you know, it's like, where do we go from here? Like, is this it? Like, have I reached the the peak? Like, are you telling me this is it? And it's like, okay, now I have to go overseas before I can reach any more heights. Like, is that what you're telling me? So I think that's it's like one of those questions. But I've met some amazing people, and there is a lot of talent. There's a lot of great talents in Australia. I think it's just unfortunate that they're not like, when you think of, you know, you think of fashion, you're not, you know, they're not the first people that are coming to your head anymore. But there is a lot of great, almost hidden, but it's not hidden, it's here in Australia. But I think you just need to, I guess, find a better way to kind of just be at worldly with the reach more so than just pleasing the Australian crowd.
I also think it's like people's perception of beauty as well.
So different.
Like, it's definitely like evolved a lot, but it's also feels, I don't even know what the word is, but sometimes even I feel like back in the day, like I would be on shoots and knowing how I would look with like a certain makeup,
certain lighting,
you know,
hair,
you know, like it's definitely gotten better, but sometimes it feels like they don't fully have the components
we're not there yet
to like actually show your beauty. And I feel like something that I feel like Australia is really behind is when it comes to Fashion Week, like Australia Fashion Week, like when it comes to the I'm in like a interesting position because like I don't really like walk a whole lot, but I'll do like a few shows if it happens, and then I'll attend, and so kind of be on both sides.
You get to see both sides,
you know, like I get to talk to like my friends and models, and then get to be with like my friends who are influencers and stuff. But literally, I feel like every Oz Fashion Week that I've like ever been to, they just like never know, like when it comes to like black hair, they just never know. Like,
do you know what I find so weird?
What?
Why are they not fine? Like, it's like, why is everyone acting like there isn't black hair dresses? There's so many black hairstylists in Australia. There's not even Australia, Sydney. I can name 10. You know? But it's like in Fashion Week, you'd be lucky if you see 2. And every time it's like, oh, we don't know where they're at. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know?
Just, like, I don't know, like us. Whenever I'm like, I see BTS and stuff with like shows overseas. Like I'll see like braiders there, like braiding the girls' hair, and just like when they step on that, you know, catwalk, like they're snatched. Then
because it creates a different level of confidence as well.
It does.
Because
like when my hair is done, I am a different person.
That's what I mean. Like nobody can tell you you're not Beyonce.
Literally, like I feel like when my hair is done or when my makeup is on.
Yeah, like when you feel good, it's gonna reflect when you're walking. Instead of like you're walking, you're just like, let me just get it over and done.
100%.
There's like a huge difference where. Yeah. And it's also like it's quite sad because it's like I want to be in the chair as much as the other models.
Yeah, as much as like the Caucasian.
Yeah, they get to be on the chair. Their whole hair is getting done. Makeup's done. Most I'm doing in hair is 5 minutes. In makeup, maybe 10, 15, and then it's like there's
and I hate it when I get it.
And it's like one thing I also don't understand. It's like why is it that most of the time the black models are getting their hair and makeup done last when their hair and makeup should be first, because it usually takes longer, right?
Yeah.
But because you don't have plans to do anything with it really, then it's like, yeah, we can do that like 5 minutes in, and you're just spraying some water, doing a little
and they always go, oh my god, like
your skin is amazing, your hair is amazing,
you're like, basically done. And
I don't want moisturizer. I'll give you some makeup.
No, I'm not done. I want the full like,
I want the glam.
Like, do my edges properly. I remember once it was like, I think this was August Fashion Week, and they just like, all the hairstylists just literally putting gel throughout my whole cornrows, and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh no, this is just, and he was using gel.
Do you know what's so funny?
What?
I think the word is difficult. But I'm so proud to be difficult. I'm sitting in that chair and we're doing my hair together.
Yeah.
We're doing my makeup together.
Yeah.
I'm saying what I don't like, what I like, and if you don't have my shade, you don't have my shade, and I'm telling you that's not my shade. Because I think that's where a lot of the thing is. It's like a lot of black models don't want to look difficult.
I know, and I've experienced that.
And I've seen girls literally like cry and then like walk on that runway. I'm like, baby girl, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. If I don't like my hair, I'm telling you why I don't like it. Now, it's either you can fix it or I can fix it. It's not an issue. But it's like, it's so important to like speak and say what you need to say. But I also do, like, a lot of the times when I am speaking, I'm not speaking from like I'm degrading you, or I'm speaking down, or I'm questioning your qualification, right? I'm also like, hey, this is my hair, this is what works best with it. You should try this, maybe that product, maybe not that product, right? And a lot of the times I find that like that works a lot. Like a lot of the hair stylists will be like, oh my god, thank you, like, yes, let's work together, let's make you feel great, right? But it's like, if you don't speak, they're just gonna do what they know to do. And it's like, black Afro hair is not a one size fit all. So it's like they might have done it so well on somebody else, but it might not work for you. But if you don't speak, they're just gonna do the same technique that they did here with here, and then it will be different result, and you're not happy. It's you at the end of the day that has to walk that runway. You're the one that's getting the pictures taken. You're the one that's doing the job. And if you're gonna do a job, you might as well look good while doing it, right? So I think it's so important to have that transparency where it's like, hey, let's talk about what products work best or what I don't like. Which is like, yes, I would like to sit in a chair and just doze off and somebody does it perfectly, but we're not there yet. So right now we're at the conversation state. So have that conversation. Like, if you don't want water in your hair, say, hey, maybe no water, maybe some hair mousse. You don't want hair, you don't want gel. Say something else, you know what I mean? Or hairspray. That's another thing. If I don't want hairspray in my hair, I'm gonna tell you, hey, there's another way of slicking my hair without the hairspray, right? So it's like, just be vocal. And if they then go out of their way to still ignore you, because that's a possibility, still ignore you and still do whatever they feel or see fit, okay, in that moment, then you got to be professional, do your job, and then tell your agent or tell the next closest thing that you feel like is gonna hear you, and be like, hey, I wasn't happy with how this was handled, even though I was because that's what I'm doing. You're not hearing me. I'm telling. I'll be in that show hey, this is what's happening. I don't like it right now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm being transparent. We're both trying to achieve the same thing.
Yeah, we both want to like go out
Put on a
there
good show, right?
and put on a good show.
Exactly.
And a lot of modeling isn't it like obviously like
I feel like makeup is a bit more further right now.
oh, makeup definitely is like way better, but like the biggest
But there
thing,
is still a lot when it comes to undertone.
yeah,
Because a lot of the times it's like that's where we're still not at, but the shades are there.
Yeah.
But is the undertone making sense? But
Yeah.
again, conversation, talk, speak up. Because, yeah, you put a shade on my face. It might look like my exact shade right now. But when it dries, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know?
But definitely hair is like the biggest. And there's like, and there are like...
To the point where I wore my wig this fashion week.
Yeah.
And then, and if I didn't wear a wig, I would have done cornrows.
Yeah.
And a lot of models do cornrows. And I was like, why is that the only style that black models are doing?
It's just kind of like poured onto us. And it is like the aspect of like being transformed. Like we're not being transformed.
Nope.
We're just like...
How you show up is probably how you're going to go on that runway.
Yeah, because apparently like... It's like that's the only thing that we can do, but it's like actually no.
I'm like, why are they all in cornrows? Like I want to see, I want to see Pixie. I want to see
100%.
a Bob.
Like,
I want to see this. I want to see that.
The same. Like,
but it's like
a very.
If you wanted us to all look the same, okay, we all look the same then.
Sure.
You know, if it's like a look where every single model's in cornrows, okay, get hairstylists that can braid every single model's hair. But it's like. It's not even that. It's just that the only 3 or 4 black models on your runway are the only people with stitch braids that they came with. Why is that a thing? Why? And everybody's like in big blowouts and like curls and da 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 da. And I'm
just out here.
and you're over here like slick back cornrows and it's like you do know really? We can see that, right?
Yeah, like I didn't.
Okay. Because it's like you kind of if that's the look we were all going for, then let's all go for it. But if you're gonna go for like I think it was like a show that it was like an 80s or like 90s blowout, like you know, full voluptuous hair, right?
I want that as well.
And I'm over here, I'm like, damn, you could. When is it my turn? Like you couldn't get a wig or something, like some extensions.
No, you're perfect.
Your skin, your structure. I'm like. I'm like, okay, like talking about you know your face, like your bone structure, this bone structure, that. I'm like, okay, cool, but
I get it, but like, come on.
No, like I do get it, but
you
can see all of that with the enhancements too.
100%. Oh my god, I was obsessed with all the black girls. Doing the Fias show and like all their hairstyles, like they had like I love Jasmine Tooks, like she had her hair out, and then there was this girl, she had like a ponytail with like a slick thing, and then you know I don't know if anyone had braids, but I just was like looking at all of them and they
because it shows it's like a showcase of what you can do with black hair.
But
it's like there's no like fashion should kind of like, you know, if you're gonna put on a show head to toe, right? Why are we missing
the head?
Like why are we starting here? You know? And it's like the hair is part of the look. Hence why you do it with the other models.
Literally. So like
okay.
So what's going on with that?
Okay. And I feel like it's not even a conversation at this point. Like it's not a conversation.
It isn't, and
it's more like we have one person that can slick your afro, or one person that can like enhance your curls barely, and then no shade, but maybe a little, you know. But it's like that's not enough, like you know. But I guess it's kind of like start the conversation, because the conversation did start with, let's say, skin and makeup. That's the reality of it. It started with involved black models on the runway, and then it's like, okay, have makeup that actually matches. So then it's like, that's the conversation. But it's like, Australia is very slow moving.
So slow.
So how long are we talking for? Like,
Yeah.
how long do you want us to be patient for?
Yeah.
Like, how, like, you know, it's, and why is it even a conversation? Like, it shouldn't that, like, 2 and 2 equals 4, right?
Yeah.
So why are we not just,
Yeah.
it's basic, but it's almost like we have to say every single thing. Like, it's like, oh, okay, we've done skin, now let's do hair.
Yeah.
And then now let's do this. And then now da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And it's interesting because it's like, as, like, you know, obviously we live in Australia, we're like very far away from the rest of the world, but we still have the internet. People still see other shows overseas, and they see the, you know, like the vavavoom that it's like,
and you're like, damn, we're so behind. Like, I you know, the day we were there, and
Literally.
that's a beautiful day. But when is that gonna be if you don't even want to have the conversation yet?
100%.
It's kind of like, like, why are we okay with the basic, like the big, like, we're like here, and it's like, okay, we're here, like, that's good enough. Why is that good enough? That's not good. Like, why are we not, you know?
100%.
So I think that's the weird thing where it's like, what do you mean we've involved black models? We got makeup artists. There's a person that does curly hair. It's like, that's the base level. That's the base level. Now let's, like, imagine walking to a room and it's like, you know, I'm not expecting every single, like, I don't want to walk into a room and it's only black people. That would be amazing.
I do think there needs to be more,
but it's like, why am I, like, if we, especially Fashion Week, it's mostly black models, right? So then why am I not seeing mostly black makeup and hair?
I feel like that's the biggest difference.
Like, the background needs to reflect what we're seeing in the forefront. Instead of, like,
there's a disconnect, and also
there is a disconnect because it almost seems like it's for show. It's almost, it seems like you're just
performative.
It's performative activism, right? Where it's like, oh, you showing that you're inclusive, but are you really inclusive if the background is not reflecting what you're showing? Like, yes, you have a lot of black models when it comes to your runway. But where's the hair and the makeup? But then also, when the runway is done, who's doing your campaigns? So it's like, there's just so many levels and layers, and it feels like it's like everybody, it's like, we're just gonna give you an inch for now. Don't run a mile with it. Just take this inch and sit right here. And when we feel comfortable, we'll give you another inch. And it's like, damn.
100%. And you do see that flow when there is more of, like, a mix of, you know, people of color actually making the decisions, because then they're gonna be like, oh no, that's not gonna
appropriate
suit her, that's, you know, but hopefully, like, one day, I'm sure
it's not hope, it's gonna happen one day. You just don't know.
It's just like a timing thing. And then obviously, like, now having you know, more people our age who have grown up here can hopefully make some kind of a difference, and kids and blah blah blah.
Generations take.
Literally. But,